Hello, everyone. Welcome to another XRP session. This is the Zen God, and thank you for tuning in. Amazing news. So much I'm going to report with you guys today. It's been a wild couple of days in the market, but I really believe we are in the perfect XRP storm. Everything is leading up to our favor. So as you know, there was a lawsuit against Ripple and XRP, claiming they're selling unregistered securities. Now, the Ripple team has been completely silent for the past few weeks. They've been building up their case to defend in court, which is set to be on 2/22/21, so February 22nd. And here's the difference between Ripple's team and the SEC's team. So Ripple's team has 21 of some of the best, most powerful lawyers and attorneys in the world. Part of their team is actually former SEC chairman as well. So they're stacked. They're a powerhouse. And today I'm actually filming this. It's Friday, 2021. And I'm going to release this tomorrow morning. So I'm releasing this tomorrow morning. I have a busy day ahead. But yeah, let me just stop right here real quick. If you're enjoying this new channel, if you like the information, I'm going to keep doing better and better as far as the quality of the content for you guys. But please like, subscribe, and leave some comments, whether you want to leave some suggestions for future episodes or you have some questions. The comment section will be the best place to ask me anything. So back to the narrative today. Brad Garlinghouse released this: "Our defense begins today. Innovation is on trial, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with our partners and the community to defend it. Together, we appreciate regulation oversight. We can modernize outdated laws that clearly aren't working to protect consumers and ensure orderly markets." So to sum it up, our case against them is unbelievable. They should be embarrassed because we literally destroyed them. And to sum it up, we'll go deeper into it. Ripple says XRP is not a security in its response to the SEC News lawsuit, claiming it violated federal law. So let's go into here. This is one of their people on their team who wrote a pretty cool thread. "Today, we filed our preliminary legal response to the SEC's complaint. With it, we start to set the record straight with correct many misconceptions and contradictions within their allegations. No other country has classified XRP as a security. The SEC is at odds with its counterparts in the US and peers, other G20 markets. Ripple never held an ICO, nor did we ever sell or offer XRP as an investment. For 8 years, XRP is traded in an open market independent of Ripple. We also filed a Freedom of Information Act asking how the SEC determined Ethereum evolved from a security to not a security. No explanation or guidance was given. Why? We're simply asking for the rules to be stated clearly to applied consistently. We're not defending this case just for ourselves. We're fighting for everyone who has been hurt by the SEC's filing to restore order to the markets and, most importantly, for industry clarity. We'll push to get this case resolved as quickly as possible." So wow, that was a pretty powerful statement. So he's going pretty deep into it. So here's the official lawsuit. But on the Ripple website, it's easier read. So we'll go into it a little bit. Let me close these down. So basically, the main key point that I read right here that I took away, I was like, oh, we got these fools. Under here, XRP is not an investment contract. It says XRP, because remember I showed you that federal registered document that stated XRP is a virtual currency? It's already federally registered as a virtual currency under other jurisdictions. So XRP is a virtual currency and thus outside the SEC's jurisdictions. So this lawsuit literally violated law and they overstepped their boundaries. according to Ripple's team. They overstep their authority. They have no authority over virtual currencies. This is under someone else's jurisdiction. I thought this gave us a home run, right? Just with this alone. But they also go into how SEC has, like, how they're picking winners and losers, how they're favoring Bitcoin and Ethereum over XRP. So they've distorted facts. They also said a statement in here, I think I read, that they went exactly against their own mission statement. So right here it says, moving quickly is important because, as you know, since the SEC filed and its complaint, XRP lost half of its market value, causing retail holders of XRP with no connection to Ripple, the very people the SEC purports to protect, to suffer billions of dollars of losses. What's more, part of the SEC's mission is to maintain orderly markets, and yet their overreach created havoc in the market. So they're pretty much calling the SEC that they're not even following their own mission statement. So they got them on a really, like, a lot of key points that, like, if you guys read the whole thing, you'll kind of see how we're for sure going to win this. They probably should just settle. So this is another big thing that happened Friday. The U.S. Federal Reserve is seeking Digital Innovations Manager to research central bank digital currencies and stablecoins. So I went a step further. I actually looked up and found the actual, like, this is the article about it. But you could actually go to LinkedIn and find it, them talking about it, and go to the actual application here. And what I've been showing you guys to do, you got to find, and they're just talking about, where is it? They're talking about stable coins, they're talking about digital assets, how these people in these positions need to understand them. So let's go. So right here, most notably on issue regarding the future of payments. This includes the changing nature of money and payment platforms in an increasingly digital environment, the potential benefits and risks associated with digital assets such as stablecoins and central bank digital currencies, the impact of digital innovations on the Fed operation oversight of financial services. Blah, 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 blah. It goes super deep into it, but this is for everyone that comments saying, hey, crypto's a scam, digital assets are a scam. They're all scams. Okay, I agree with you. I'm on the same page. If you haven't done the research, 99% of these coins are scams. Most of the coins are scams, but there are some positive ones, and we have proof. On the Federal Reserve are looking for people that understand this technology because they are going to implement this. Digital innovations. Like, they're not going to hire these people and set up these teams so they don't plan on using it, right? And this brings me to Flare Finance. So on Flare, enables the users of the Flare network to have immediately available stablecoins, currencies. So stablecoins are going to be big in the future, and Flare will allow people to immediately issue stablecoins on it. So that's pretty big news for. So now we know that the Federal Reserve is looking into getting into digital assets and future of payments, right? Who do we know that's been working with them for a long time? So let's first go to this document. We go to find. I showed you guys this the other day. Who's a part of this? Ryan Zagone. Where is it? Oh, shoot, this is the wrong one. Anyways, moving forward. So Ryan Zagone has been with the Federal Reserve since 2017. So 1 second, guys.
challenges of technology and regulation. And we're going to focus in this panel a little more on the technology side, weaving some regulatory themes through. And I'm going to ask each of the panelists now in turn to introduce their amazing companies and technologies to you and set that in a transatlantic context. So I'll start this time to my right with Ryan from Ripple.
Bonjour. I'm Ryan Zagon from Ripple. I don't know any other French, so that's all you're going to get. Ripple is a company that is modernizing the cross-border payments. When we think about data today, we can move that seamlessly, internationally, basically free anywhere in the world. But when we go to move value, like a payment or money, we have a very different experience. The cross-border payment today will take 2 to 4 days, and it goes into a black box where you can't track the status, you don't know the fees, you don't know how much gets delivered until several days later. Ripple has developed a new solution. It's a blockchain and digital asset-based solution that allows financial institutions to make a real-time cross-border payment. So we can take the settlement time from 2 to 4 days down to under 4 seconds. And we're enabling full transparency in that payment.
The last 2 years' experience, frankly, has been very heartwarming and has provided a great deal of optimism.
So this is the document I was actually looking for regarding Ryan Zagon. So Ryan Zagon was, remember we were looking up the task force team for faster payment, and Ryan Zagon was on all the documents. Well, Federal Reserve Task Force, Ripple improves speed and transparency of global payments. So yeah, he is, he's been with the Federal Reserve since 2017, and now the Federal Reserve is looking to implement all this new technology. Which one do you think they're going to choose? Like relationships are pretty important, I think.
Again, going forward with the tough decisions that lie ahead and the work that lies ahead, the esprit de corps that's been established there, the diversity of the task force coming together with, this criteria as an example, 36 criteria, 36 pages of written words that 97% of this collaborative group approved is really astonishing work. And we expect now that we're going to be able to carry that momentum forward to actually achieve the vision they've laid out. And when you look at what's happened around the world, many of those economies and countries have affected their change with a mandate, with either a central bank or the central government deciding that they're going to do X with their payment system. In our country, we've taken a different tack and said, it's going to be very difficult for us to get Washington to focus on an issue like this. But if we create our own future and are proactive about what we want and collaborate together, we're probably going to end up with something better than what our friends in Washington could come up with. So the process so far has yielded great results. This effectiveness criteria is, one example of the effectiveness of that collaboration effort, and the benefits that are going to accrue if you look at that criteria.
We hear loads and loads of blockchain activity going on out there. Then we also hear a lot of it's really not past proof of concept, but both of you have business models that are using blockchain actively. Tell us about it.
Certainly. So from a high-level context perspective, blockchain has become a hashtag term. It is an overhyped term at the moment. But what we're seeing in blockchain is a similar cycle in other innovation breakthroughs. Now, I'll use the Ford Model T as the example. The Ford Model T was the first automobile in the US that was broadly available. There was a lot of hype around it when it first came out. Like this could solve many use cases and revolutionize commerce. But what we saw, we were limited to that one design. So over time, the automobile entered a long period of specialization, like taking that one design and specializing it per use case. And today we have a wide variety of models. An 18-wheeler to move goods, your minivan to move your family, your sports car to move fast. Each design is specialized for the use case. What we're seeing in blockchain right now is the same evolution cycle. We're in this period of specialization where companies are identifying use cases and specializing the technology for that specific use case. Several of the primary use cases right now, cross-border payments, securities trading reconciliation, trade finance, we had digital identity mentioned earlier, all applicable problems for the tech, but problems that are completely different in nature. The pain points, the capabilities you need, the regulations for each of those activities vary greatly. So in our view, it's not going to be one blockchain for everything will sit on top of, but many different solutions specialized for that very particular use case. So you can specialize things like data privacy and a unique way of using it for identity, or scalability, as Ripple specialized in for a payment system for financial institutions. So we're in this period of specialization right now. When a company is in that specialization period, in our view, successful fintech is the convergence of three things. It's financial services, it's engineering, the technology you're using, and it's regulation. So it's the convergence and balance of those three inputs at day one in your product design cycle. So taking all of these variables and putting it from day one in how you're going to develop a product for a market. So we're seeing many companies in the sector now in that process, engaging with regulators, engaging with the market, and optimizing the technology to create a solution that's specialized there. Ripple's done that, focused on cross-border payments.
As you could see, that was back in 2017. Our team is bright. We got sharp people on our team. And he said back in 2017, their whole mission was to work with the regulators from the beginning. That's their whole purpose in their business plan, to be in compliance with the regulators. So that's why everyone was so shocked by this. And that's why I think this whole SEC thing is fake. And it's just all smoke screens. Everyone's distracted. XRP is the scariest investment in the world right now, but then people are comfortable investing in Dodge, GameStop, all this other shit just because it's hyped. But XRP, with all the fundamentals, all the partners, all the future benefits, just because of some shitty SEC. And you guys got to remember, Tesla, many other big companies have been sued before they blew. Like, look at Tesla's chart. They got sued by the SEC right after it blew up. So this is not scary, but it's funny the psychology it's doing on the masses. Like, it's the least popular investment in the world while everyone's focused on all this other stuff. Now, we're watching some narratives come out. We're watching some narratives roll out right now. So now Webull is now deciding to stop trading of AMC and GameStop because they're blaming the settlement expense. It wasn't our choice. This has to do with settlement mechanics in the market. So settlement. XRP helps the market have instant settlements. It stops the friction. That's the whole word. That's the word that Brad Garlinghouse, that XRP creates less friction in the market. He says it all the time by having instant settlements. All the stock markets having issues right now because they don't have, number one, the proper settlement. They don't have instant settlement. And then number two, I'm not going to show this video. You guys could go look into it. Number two, Robinhood's blaming their liquidity. They're having a liquidity issue. Zero hedge. Robinhood CEO appears on CNBC, BBG, and CNN, says has no liquidity. Wait, has no liquidity. 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've heard a bunch of other people say Robinhood is about to have a liquidity crisis, modern day run on the bank. Liquidity. So I'm hearing this word having denied company had liquidity issues. Oh. Anyway, so a few people are saying they denied it. Other people are saying they will have liquidity issues. But just the fact that this is floating around out there, getting in people's consciousness, means maybe it's predictive programming or maybe it's going to happen. So Ripple has something called on-demand liquidity, instant global settlement. So how does on-demand liquidity? It's a bridge and it unlocks capital for banks. It's a pretty good video I could show you on it before I leave off for tonight.
What is on-demand liquidity?
On-demand liquidity is a way for our customers to send fast, low-cost payments without having to pre-fund the destination account. Today's correspondent banking network is so slow that in order to deliver a fast experience, you have to pre-fund accounts in the destinations in which you're sending money to. You're storing capital like cash really in those accounts for days at a time, and that's highly inefficient. It's a poor use of money. And so on-demand liquidity puts XRP kind of in the middle of that payment from one country to another country to allow for the ability to send payments instantaneously or near instantaneously without having to have funds already available in the destination account.
So where is on-demand liquidity available?
So the received countries that we have available right now are in Mexico, Philippines. Why Philippines or Mexico is because those are very large receive side countries when it comes to remittances. $31 billion every year going into Mexico, $33 billion every year going into the Philippines. So we believe that there's a large amount of demand there. And also the types of payments that people are making into these countries like Mexico and Philippines from the US and Europe and parts of Asia are really to cover necessities, food, rent, school fees for their children. And so this is a really high impact cross-border flow and the first of many corridors that we will open up this year.
Why are customers interested in using on-demand liquidity?
I think there's really two main reasons, speed and low cost. And we've talked about both of those, but speed element is because XRP settles every 3 to 5 seconds. The ability to do cross-border settlement instead of 2 or 3 days in 2 or 3 minutes end to end is a huge value proposition for not just our customers, but for their customers actually sending money who want that speed and expect that speed. The second thing is low cost. So the ability to not have to pre-fund all these accounts around the world means you can use that capital, which you would otherwise have had in various bank accounts, to put to good use, marketing your product, lowering the cost of your product to the end user. It's about growing your business as a result of having essentially more access to capital rather than keeping it trapped in bank accounts.
So that was a video that was a lot older. There's a lot more countries that have on-demand liquidity. I believe Japan's going to be one. London's going to be one. So they'll all use this. So they won't have to have these banks just storing all this capital. They could just merge it all into the Internet of Value and have access to all that extra capital. So I'll leave with this. So pump and hold XRP February 1st. I seen this at 25,000. I believe it's a lot more now, but a bunch of people are saying they're going to pump XRP on February 1st. Now I'm at the point now where I've given up on these hype dates. So I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I've also have the other theory that everyone's always said that XRP will moon overnight. Like it's just going to skyrocket overnight. So this would be a good narrative to do that. Just blow it up overnight and then blame these Telegram people for raising the price when it was secretly actually the banks. Because we know one day to the next, the banks are going to have this XRP coin skyrocket. So many people have predicted it. And this would be the perfect time because they could blame it on on us. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I know XRP, I know the utility, I know the use case behind it. I've studied the technology enough. I know that it has a place in the future of the new financial system, maybe the quantum financial system. I believe the quantum financial system's coming. So I'm not worried about a date. I'm worried about the long term. I'll show you guys a video from Brad Garlinghouse. Back in 2017, XRP actually skyrocketed 32,000%. So 32,000%, it went up in gains. Then the guy was asking Brad Garlinghouse, and Brad Garlinghouse was like, look, I don't care about the price. Excuse me. I don't care about the price 3 weeks. I don't care about the price 3 months. I don't care about the price a year. I'm more looking at our success from 5 to 10 years from now. So that's another reason why I like this company so much. Brad Garlinghouse has such a good vision. Even when their coin skyrocketed all the way to $3.80, he was like, look, this is just the beginning. Let's look back 5, 10 years from now, where we'll be. So I have the same mentality with my investments. Think about what's that story? The tortoise and the hare. So the bunny, the hare, whatever you're going to call him, gets all excited because he's winning at first. But the patient one wins at the end. The tortoise wins at the end. So that's a good life lesson we learned when we were kids. So that's it for today. Remember to share some love on the page, and we're still on a mission to 1,000 subscribers. Once we do that, we're going to be doing a lot more cool stuff. All right, guys, have a good night. Well, have a good day, and peace.